How now? I've got some more thoughts about Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, or the movie and the books, and some about the drawings of, like, my favorite one, and things that make me think things about how they could be used in the film. Even though I'm making this at the time before the sequel's out, I know it is green lit. And I think I mentioned it. I didn't check the description lately, but I mentioned it the film was pretty much like a mature Goosebumps, which I liked very much too, even though I wasn't sure what I'd think of it, because I grew up with those and this show, and it's pretty much like, I thought of this saying before. I think I put it in the description, but I said, I think it's funny. It's sort of like the sibling of Goosebumps going through a death metal phase, you know? That's about as well as I can sum it up. If you still haven't seen it, I still won't spoil it, but there's some drawings I had in mind that could have been in it, but weren't, but I still like them. I like all of them, though. I mean, there's some sayings that I hope they were in the sequel, or even a third film, or 3 films, 3 books. Excuse me, just looking here. Like, the drum, the kids in the drum. I noticed that was part of the documentary cover next to the giant skull. I didn't say that before. There's other things, details in this particular drawing that I didn't pick up immediately, like the thing in the tree there. And some of these some of them I tried to replicate, like the Wendigo. And the Guess, when I narrated them all. And my favorite one of all three books, this one. The Girl Who Stood in the Grave. I hope that's in the sequel. If not, I'll still like it. And pretty close to that one, I had another idea. Some characters don't have names in the, well, a lot of characters don't have names in these drawings. I know Guillermo del Toro's go-to guy, Doug Jones, is his creature guy. He dresses up for him in a lot of things, like Hellboy, like Pan's Labyrinth, which is my favorite film of his besides Scary Stories. And this guy, I still have a question about him. It's also next to the hook. But this guy appearing in the first book, throughout, like between chapters. I'm kind of bad at showing these, like, with angles and stuff. Doug Jones could play him. He's sort of one of those actors that nobody really knows, but they know what characters they played. And here, it's backwards here from my point of view, but he's heard footsteps coming up the cellar stairs. Like, should be one thing coming up. And I thought Mitai Doty Walker was combined with What You Come For in the film. And here he is again. He's sort of like the Crypt Keeper, which Tales of the Crypt I also grew up with, so that's pretty much why I'm into this kind of stuff. Although I liked the Crypt Keeper more. I liked him so much I had a doll of him as a kid. Even though I didn't really watch the show, because I just watched it for him, really, I think. I don't even remember. It wasn't really my target audience. I realized that later. Just thought I'd still include these drawings that I just know I hadn't when I actually read them out loud. I hope that's not like a trademark thing or anything. I just have these good thoughts about them. Like, footsteps. Looks like Freddy Krueger doing something, you know? And The Appointment, that's another one of my favorite ones. I know that there's a John O'Hara story based on this. I think it's something I should read too. I know Charles Addams was a fan of John O'Hara. That's pretty interesting. Well, another one is Oh Susanna, another one of my favorite ones I mentioned in the first video. One of the ones that don't really have any relation to the story itself. And it ends with, when I wake up, everything will be alright. So, if that's in the teaser, even though that could be a teaser and not include this, the teaser is kind of a working trailer. I still hope for these videos to be appreciated even after the time passes. I think some are pretty sad, like the wreck and the bus stop, for the relationships involved. And I thought of Stella's dad, Dean Norris. I think Dean Norris. Yeah. Stella's dad in the film, I thought he would play John Sullivan before I heard anything about the film. And John Sullivan from Something Was Wrong. And Stella, interestingly enough, resembles Velma Dinkley from Scooby-Doo. And I thought Goosebumps was like what Scooby-Doo and Jumanji put together, but this... similar folklore material was just more extreme, you know? It's older, so more to do with it, I guess. It's easier to go farther with it. But I still really appreciate the Hitchcock feeling that pretty much permeates it. But you hear about one person's style adapting something, and a whole bunch of things like zoom immediately to mind. Like when he first announced he was working on, Del Toro was working on the film, he posed himself next to this, even though it's not in the film either. But it looks like one of his, you know. And I think the beginning of the second book, there's another drawing. It looks like his. Yep. These ghosts here. Like I saw, like the way the ghosts looking like in Crimson Peak, I thought, you know, it's pretty close. And the first film, not having high beams, is pretty much a fantastic opportunity to have the hook and high beams. And I saw some of them teased in the trailer, like the attic and the cat's paw, which the attic is humorous, and I was briefly mistaken that would be like fleshed out, and it didn't really it didn't actively match the tone of the trailer, so I was mistaken. But it's still fun to think about these things. Like this one in particular, it makes me think of, if you look up Doug Jones, I don't even know how he'll be in the film, but I see him playing him. Just a thought, you know, from instinct, you know, because every fan has ideas like this that Hollywood won't take. And The Babysitter is like the least awkward of all three of them, and it's still a little offbeat. I know the movie When a Stranger Calls was inspired by this one. And considering, you know, the actors used in the film, there really wasn't time to do high beams, because this looks like it could either be Ruth or it could be Stella. And Stella doesn't drive in the first film. Like, I have a question. If somebody can answer this for me. Is this guy, the first guy from, I've been talking about, like with the clubfoot? I've always thought he was, but because he's got the same like gunshot wound, and he's got the same hat. And is there more than one of them? The questions these books make you answer, make you ask. You know, there's still a lot of things that you pick up like about these drawings. Like another thing, the first drawing in all three of them, I've noticed this, like the fourth time I saw the film, this wheelchair is in the hospital scene, like real quick. In hospital scene, I immediately thought of the bed by the window or like Cat's Eyes. So, you know, just trust. If you're into it at all, don't think that it's immediately something that you think one location is going to do, because that's what I like about these books is the locations. I probably said this before, but locations, that's what's so unique about them, is that they're not set where you normally expect creepy stuff to happen. which is like more powerful. And I have questions of like, as an adult, like the big toe, the stew is intentional. So I wonder, what kind of people are these? Even before creepy stuff happens. I mean, because the stew in the film is unintentional. Oh, that's a stomach churning scene, but they all have different powerful effects from the stories and the characters related. I think Cold as Clay is sad too. Well, anyway, see when the trailer for the second film is out. I'll talk about it then.